This episode is sponsored by avocados. Yum! Hey, why is that seed so big?
Oh, seed.
Seed. The seed. Yeah.
They said seed like they were getting fat.
Welcome back to another episode of Hold Your Horses, Idioms for Idiots. Kick back and relax as the three idiot horsemen dialogue, debate, digress, and delve deep into the mysteries of our ridiculous language and its many idioms. We'll get to the bottom of these fabulous phrases before the cows come home, so saddle up, sit back, and let's ride.
Here we are.
No cats in
America, and the streets are filled with cheese.
There are no
That's Fifle Goes West.
That's good. Okay.
No,
Very
it's
good.
just Fifle Goes to America.
Oh, okay.
An American Tale.
An American Tale. Yeah.
And then
it's
what-
west.
And then he goes west.
Yeah.
He starts on the East Coast.
Is that a sequel?
Then he
Yeah,
does the
it's
prairie.
really good. Second
Then
one.
it's
Is
Oregon
it
Trail.
live action or a cartoon?
It's a cartoon.
Animation.
It's
Yeah.
just straight cartoon.
All right.
There's been a long... This will be our cold open. There's been a long running, and I think it spilled over into this venue, that... You know, you talk to somebody. I mean, you've watched films.
I've seen
You watch films.
I go to movies.
You know, I went to school for filmmaking, you know, and so we talk
didn't know
about distinguishing between different types of movies.
Right.
And when there are physical, living, breathing actors
Just normal.
portraying characters, that's a,
movies.
you know, that's a live action film.
Yeah.
Live, living.
Yeah.
Whereas you have cartoons, animations, drawings, computer animated, that's animated.
Dead films.
Yeah, like
Live
if you
action,
can't tell the
animated. So,
difference, you
Dan-
have to kind of have these words to describe them instead of being like, oh, I'm assuming those people are alive and not just dummies moving around.
I know you're trying to make a point, but Dan has a friend, and we'll, you know, Jeremy Spears.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey,
Jeremy works
I
at
miss you.
Disney, has worked at Disney for a while. He has an awesome
Whittle woodwork.
Whittle Woodshop.
Whittle wood shop,
Whittle.
where he makes awesome trinkets, mugs, everything.
Carvings.
He
He whittles them.
was a filmmaker. He was up here for within the last few weeks
For Dan's surprise birthday
for Dan's
party.
surprise 40th.
Still not 40.
Still not 40 though.
Yeah,
So
.com.
we
Not
got to jump on that. Anyways, so I had the chance to really ask Jeremy to really tug on it. So I said, Jeremy, what's the industry term for, you know? And so I explained it, and Tom was there and trying to explain himself, looked like a little boy, and Jeremy didn't understand because, of course, it's live action and animated.
Yeah,
Anyways,
there's cartoons, cartoons and movies.
I'm on both sides.
Pretty standard.
It's similar to when people say, oh, it was a fixed wing. And they're talking about an airplane.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Yeah, no one says that.
no, but people say it.
Yeah, if you're an idiot. If you want to be
Where are
all-
you flying? Oh, I was flying a fixed wing.
I mean,
You mean an
yeah.
airplane?
You mean
Well,
a movie? No, it's live action.
Tom, do you like the movie The Jungle Book
The cartoon?
as opposed to? Anyways,
Just the
so that's
real-
our
the real
cold
movie.
open.
Just the one with humans.
So, welcome back to another consistent episode of this lovely podcast where we talk about idioms and we discuss them and try to guess their origin. And along the way, we have fun. Boy, we have loads of fun.
Buckets of fun.
Boatfuls.
Having so much fun
Barrels.
right now. So, I want to know.
Yes.
This is actually bringing up another, not idiom, but what's the last deadline that either of you have had to make a deadline? Think about it for a moment. I'll tell you.
Oh, like taxes?
Sure, yeah, good.
That's a good one.
That's a great one. Otherwise,
Yeah.
there's
I mean,
consequences
there
for that.
are.
But like editing projects, you know,
Oh, yeah.
there's a deadline.
When I was at the newspaper, that was constant.
Very good. We haven't
Thank
heard
you.
much about
Forgot
that.
you had
Yeah,
a
the
real
Sierra
job
Mountain
once.
Times.
God, Sierra
I was
Mountain
the
Times.
editor of 2 years, maybe. Who knows?
Oh, just two.
Shut down.
Didn't they fold?
Shut
Yeah,
down real
exactly.
quick. Yeah.
But like an editing project, you have a deadline. You are going. Did you have something? What's the last deadline you had to?
I mean, I've had some self-imposed deadlines.
Sure.
but
Okay.
I would say,
Like
I mean,
turning
at
40.
school, it was like, hey, all you teachers, you got to have your
Right.
syllabuses in by
Sure.
this
By this
date.
time,
That
by
was
this day.
dead
line. And maybe you got to jump on it and you did it, got it completed like days in advance, or maybe you were going down to the wire right until 11:59.
Yeah.
Right.
I kind of like deadline too, though.
Deadline, yeah.
And down to the
There's
wire.
a few wire line, but yeah, just right up until like some school projects that's like.
Oh, I did that every time in college. Every paper was all-nighter.
It was on down to the wire.
Yeah. See, but a lot of your stuff is like, physically, like you'd have to hand it in, right?
Physically.
So the most recent schooling I did was online, and it's like it has a timestamp. It's due by this time, and your submission receipt.
Deadline online.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's
online
like
deadline.
Yeah, there are a few papers down to the wire.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about, and I've used this a lot.
Yeah.
Down to the wire.
All right, guys, we're down to the wire in class. Yep.
But it got me thinking, why do we say that?
I do say that.
Don't say it, but does anything come to your mind right away?
Yes.
Great. Wow. Okay.
I have two.
Okay.
I have two very...
You didn't look at my notes, did you?
Very easy ones.
Let Trav go first since he never really gets to talk.
Let me go first. It's my episode. It's my time.
Hustle.
Excuse me. I have the floor.
Okay.
But you will learn something, okay?
Okay.
And that's what I'm here for. Because you're giving your sweet...
Yep. Okay. I was wondering what he was here for this whole time.
Yes.
You're giving your precious moments to listen to our
You only have so
voices.
many precious moments in a day.
So I was thinking, maybe like trapeze artists, they're balancing and stuff. It's a balancing act, but I was like, that's dumb.
Yeah, that was dumb.
So
that's where that came from.
But then in my mind, and I even drew it.
Huge.
I'm thinking a little stick of dynamite. I'm like, okay, that's like a fuse, right?
Yes, good.
Then that got me to thinking about more explosions, right?
Good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where were you when you were having these thoughts?
We were driving to dinner, and I was like, I need to write some notes down.
Yeah.
So I did. So, what came up was disarming a bomb, and maybe it's a classic Hollywood sort of, right?
Yeah. No,
okay.
literally.
You might have some to add to this, but I went.
I'm thinking Hurt Locker.
Yep.
I wrote it anyways. Okay. So disarming a bomb, but my
two are different.
Very good. Yeah. You have the typical sort of like red letters counting, red numbers counting down. 5, 4, 3.
But in the movie, it starts at 10, and it's like a 7-minute scene.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. A lot of cutting.
A lot of things happen in that 10 seconds.
So high stress situation, not a lot of time, but you get it at the last second down the wire. Makes me think of Hurt Locker. Great movie. Jeremy Renner, if you're out there, do you know if you got some time?
He's out there. He listens.
Oh, probably.
I mean, he hears.
Yeah, a lot of things, but I don't know on this from this show.
Years I've ever caught.
Kind of a local boy down in Modesto.
That's right.
Oh yeah. No, I mean he listens like he. Yeah.
He just his
like
ears here. Great film. I loved it. But they're dealing with EOD technicians, explosive ordnance disposal.
You had to look that up.
I did, yeah. Okay. And what does ordnance mean?
Ordinance.
Well, like a noise ordinance.
That's with an I.
Oh.
This is ORDNANCE. Ordnance.
I don't know that one.
Mounted guns or artillery, a branch of armed forces dealing with supply and storage of weapons, ammo, or equipment, right?
They keep things in order.
EOD. So the first technicians began training. It was a World War II necessity.
Right.
So they began training at the Bomb Disposal School in Maryland in April 1942. The origins of this branch...
That's me.
Okay.
Keep going.
The origins of this branch, again, originated out of World War II because what's called UXBs, unexploded bombs, they were a huge problem when the German fighters were blitzing English cities. So some of those were duds, that the bombs they would drop, but some were designed to go off hours later. So it was becoming a huge problem.
Cruel.
America was kind of, the U.S. was like, gauging kind of what it needed to do, and this came up. We need to have technicians who are go in, disarm them.
Bad boys.
The need for specialized training.
Diffuse the situation.
So I think it has something to do with that, and I think it originated mid 1940s.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You only
That's
get
good.
one unless that was it.
See.
Well, that is
that
what
it?
it probably is, but I'll think of something else. But I also want to, what wire colored in most movies is it
Is the
red?
bad one.
What's the last one they cut?
Which pill?
Didn't
Red or
you?
blue?
Wire?
Right? Isn't it? It's got to be.
Well, there's
it's
always
red.
like red, blue, or green.
It
I would
seems
say
like they
are
should
the
just
colors.
always cut
Always
everyone
agree on one.
but red.
The red's the not cut.
Yeah, that's the one you're like, no, but you cut them all? Or just it has to be
No,
the right
it's
order?
always one you cut.
And or do you cut 3 and leave 1? I forget how it works.
Another awesome film scene, Casino Royale, 2006.
Is there a bomb cutting
James
scene?
Bond.
Yeah,
No,
they
he gets
cut
poisoned.
a few, though.
He gets poisoned, and the defibrillator that he needs, the little wire, is out of it for some reason. And so his love interest comes and, the wire needs to go in.
For some reason
Boom.
I'm thinking of Die Hard. Was there,
Die Hard's great.
When he has to put the things on the scales.
We're thinking of The Rock when he's lowering the green balls into the chamber. If they touch,
Chemical warfare.
it's
But I
game,
feel like there's
Game
a good,
over.
There was a good no, so the guy's sweating a bunch, and it's Ocean's 11.
Oh, yes.
When the little nerd guy goes in and he wipes the directions that he wrote on his hand on his forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
he's like,
such a good movie.
I don't think he cuts though. He clips the little like thing to the wires, but I don't think
Yeah,
he
it'd
is
be a
taking a polygraph during that one of those scenes.
No.
Okay, it wasn't the one.
It would be fun though to research all the different movies with bomb scenes
And what color.
and see what the directors choose as their.
That's the one.
That's the one
Got
you
it,
either
yeah.
cut or don't. And I don't know if you cut one wire or you're cutting
it's different
all of
every
them
time.
except one.
It's different every time.
Because the people that make them, we forgot to
wonder
bring
if
up
they ask
pipe
'em.
bombs in the last episode.
I don't want to go there.
Right, you don't want to
it.
dream
It's
of
too
that.
personal.
That's Timothy McVeigh right there.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you went there, so
Pipe dreams.
Too old for most of our listeners.
That's true.
Yeah.
so you did the whole.
So I was into the bomb thing. The only other thing I could think of.
Talk towards the mic.
This is down to the wire. Oh, the telegraph.
Nice.
Click, 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 click. They're trying to get the news over to some important news there.
That's good.
I had that
That's
one.
really good.
Click, click, click. Tap, tap, tap. They're trying to send it
See, this whole
because
40s thing.
Yeah.
I still have a better one.
I have one
Okay.
more.
No, you got one.
Okay.
You get
You have one.
Okay.
You have
Okay.
one.
All right.
So I had the thought of the telegram where it's like the race.
I said telegraph. I don't know what it is.
I don't know if you should have said that.
I
But
don't either.
So the
Yeah,
it's
we get
down,
it.
It's down to
with
the
the
wire of the
visualizing,
race,
yeah.
and like, but when photography and like a sprint race came out, they would have a wire that when they crossed the finish line, they would hit the wire, and that would make the camera go off.
oh,
And
brilliant.
it would snap the shot of them finishing the 100-meter race.
Dan,
my
you
goodness.
son of a. That's great.
That's
I
great.
didn't-
And that
I
would
didn't-
be, it was down
Yeah.
to the wire. Click.
Yeah.
That's where photo finishes came from. So the first time are you already
So
high-fiving?
you-
You think
I
I got
think
it?
that's
So
it.
you
That
researched
sounds-
before?
No, I had that
Yeah,
thought.
did you watch a science
I
video
didn't even
before?
know you were doing down to the wire.
I
Oh,
texted.
that's
I
good.
texted twice.
When?
I have one more.
Look at your phone.
I have one more option.
That's
Out
good.
there. That's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Do you have any more ideas, or was that your?
I wanted to talk about
the drawing of the
Deadline
dynamite.
a little
Yeah,
bit
that's
if
good.
we had time.
The which one?
Because I thought Deadline was great.
Deadline.
Oh,
Meeting
yeah.
a deadline.
Ooh,
There's so many
that's
things
another
I thought
World War
about.
II thing.
We'll save that for another episode.
Okay.
We got to make these last.
Yeah, we're gonna run.
The
out of
other
idioms.
thing was some sort of braking system where it's like rubber, and once those are worn down, it comes down to like one wire. If that wears through,
Oh yeah.
you're done.
Oh.
So it's like
like on
you
a
were
zip
like
line.
you look at the brakes, like yeah, or
Well, a
like
lot of
all-
brakes have the little metal piece. They should, where you know your brakes are getting low.
Yeah.
Your brake pads because they hit. The
right. But
little
I'm thinking
metal.
some sort of
That's
wire
good.
device where it's like if that snaps, it's done. Like
Yeah.
game over. You guys
Ooh.
were right down to that wire.
I got wire.
Like yeah,
I got
the
one.
zip line thing. They're
The
all
wire.
unraveling and they're hanging from a cliff or
Threads,
something.
yeah.
Thread.
How about this? How about
Filaments
this?
actually too.
No, I'm hedging my bets on my first.
Yeah,
but this is just another one.
Let's hear
Hedging
it.
your bets. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a hedgehogs. Or What is it?
Some sort of shrubbery.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, what if like there's a case like being investigated and it's going to court,
Yeah.
and they're like, we just need evidence, and there's a guy with like a wire who did like
The
undercover,
Wire. I've
and
never
it's like
watched
it's
The
down
Wire.
to the wire, and they're
To
like,
get the
well,
info.
what was on the tape, and they're like,
what
let's
was on
get
the
the
wire?
wire. The wire tapped. They wiretapped him. It's gonna come down to the wire. What are they gonna find out in that hidden conversation? Like when John and Paul in Get Back, they hit a little wire. If you didn't watch the Beatles documentary on Apple, a little mic, a little
Peter
wire
Jackson produced it
in like a plant, and John and George didn't even, or John and Paul didn't know it was in there.
Yeah.
And they walk into this room to have a little private chat.
They're having some
about
tea,
George,
some lunch.
who quit the band,
Yeah.
and he's like, John's like, you're too hard on him.
Such an intimate,
but
it
really
cool.
came down to the wire.
I haven't seen it.
Was it ethical?
No.
Hey,
So George wanted to hear?
George quit.
George
Band.
quit. George was done.
Well, who put the wire?
The filmmakers.
The
Oh,
filmmakers, because they were doing a documentary.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got to watch that.
But it really did come down
I
to
think
the
that's
wire.
a great creative guess. I just don't.
No, it's not the right one.
I want to
My
acknowledge
first
you,
one's the
but I
right
also
one.
want to say
Right. I hear you.
that's dumb.
But-
no, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I
just
the
like
first
Jeremy
one.
Renner, I hear you,
Yeah.
but I don't listen to your
No,
podcast.
no. I hear.
Oh,
It's just
That's
I
right.
hear.
Yeah.
I don't
I
hear
listen.
you.
Yeah.
I've never heard your voice.
Not to you guys, but I
There's
can
another
listen.
This
Succession
episode is not
reference.
sponsored by Jeremy
We
Renner.
hear for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Those. I think that was that in recent memory. This is an episode that had the best guesses from everyone.
It was rapid fire.
Yeah.
And they
It
were
was
legit.
Solid.
It is gonna. It's literally gonna come down to the wire of whose was the best.
Okay.
Here it is.
Meaning
Drum roll. I wonder where that came from.
we have our little interlude
drum.
music
Oh
for
yeah,
our YouTube.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun,
It's like a cowboy riding
Yeah,
in the
it's great.
sunset. It's an interlude, meaning until the last possible moment. In context, I made it to the airport gate just as it was shutting. It really came down to the wire. I had one of those. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Come on, baby. Come on, you sweet.
Yeah, Dan got it.
Sweet.
The expression "down to the wire" has its origins with horse racing.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Wait, you did. You kind
I
of said that,
racing.
but how it lines up with us. Universe,
The horses.
universe, you've done it again. Look at that moon shining on my
Hold
face
those
right now.
horses.
Oh, man.
Before camera technology existed to determine the winner of a close run race, a string was stretched across the finish line to assist the judges to see who crossed the line first. The string was called a wire, and whoever broke it first was the winner. An evenly run race was said to go down to the wire. Also used in foot races, the phrase was being used literally through the late 1800s and figuratively by the early 1900s.
So, did they use a camera?
Sounded like it was before.
It said
Because
before camera technology
you'd think
was invented.
The guys would need their shirt off. I mean, how else are you going to...
I mean, I guess you could think that, but
No, well, I mean, the wire's got to...
It would cut him.
You got to have
one
some...
whoever's
just
sliced
bleeding
first.
the most.
Like, I'm just picturing a horse. Like, if it's close, like, oh, it hit that horse. Like,
Yeah.
how are you going to know?
They had a magnet on the horses, each horse's chest, their bridle, and it would stick to the first
It just said it assisted the
just
judges
helped.
to see who crossed the line first.
Like, when the guy crossed and his face is, like, in pain. Because it's, like, probably a
It's a
thick
sharpened
cable.
What is that called? That gangsters use
I mean, the wire...
to strangle people.
Jeez. I don't know. I was picturing like the thing.
It starts with a
cops
G.
throw out to
I
like
was
Oh, yeah,
picturing
yeah.
Steve McQueen wrapping the wire across the road in
Oh,
The Great
and the
Escape,
motorcycle
and the
guy.
motorcycle hits it.
right in the neck.
Oh yeah.
Like, imagine if
That's a
they put the
popular-
wire too high.
Jimmy, you put the wire too high.
That's in a
Or
Ridley
too
Scott
low.
film. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. The Counselor. It's a garbage movie, but
It's good to know.
But Ridley Scott, if you want to be on the podcast and talk about it. Yeah, I guess it just assisted the judges. So, there's some deeper
Questions.
searching there. But
Yeah.
great job.
Great job,
That
Dan.
was really
Well
good.
done.
I think we did
Yeah,
good.
I think and
It
we're
just shows that we're
wrapped up nicely.
we're
Yeah.
not we're giving
We're
it
not-
our best.
Yeah, no, no.
We're not just kicking back and resting on our
We're-
laurels.
We're not here to waste time.
No.
Not here to waste my time.
Mm-mm.
Definitely not here to waste your time.
No.
No, this is
I mean, I got time to waste. Like, let's go.
the guy that doesn't know it's Tuesday has
Exactly.
all kinds of time to waste.
So yeah, another great example of the magic.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I say. People say, you have a podcast? What? And I'm like, well, I like to think of it as a factory, a lab
a magic factory
of sorts, a magic
Chocolate
factory. Yeah,
Let go.
much like Willy Wonka.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
cooking up chocolate.
Oh,
Yeah,
But us, we're cooking up delicious entertainment.
that's right.
do you have a little song
Huh?
about it?
Uh,
Like a Willy Wonka song?
I've got a golden nugget of information for you.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
have you guys watched the new Willy Wonka
I
with
haven't. I heard
Timothy?
it's good.
It's so delightful.
Wait,
I love
isn't
it.
the new one was
Timothy
with
Chalamet.
who was before it? Johnny
Not
Depp.
Timothy McVeigh.
Johnny Depp was in it.
And now there's a
In the
new
before
one.
it. Now there's a new one.
Johnny Depp
They-
was only like 10 years ago.
2006.
Oh my god.
Time
Yeah,
is-
time flies
Time flies?
when you're having
16.
pipe dreams.
That's almost 20 years ago.
Good.
That's
And-
insane.
I thought it like
and
came out
math.
maybe a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Is
so
it? So they made a new one.
yeah, it's
Why?
great.
Why?
That's a great question.
every
Like
20
why?
years?
Yeah.
You just kind of keep.
Like it was something
Spider-Man.
that people didn't know that they needed or wanted, but they did when it was out. Much
people-
like this show.
That's right. And
You
people
didn't know
love
you
chocolate.
wanted
You
this.
didn't know you wanted
You didn't know
this.
you wanted this?
You stumbled upon it, and now you're here.
Here you
Pull
are.
up a chair.
Yeah.
Stay a little longer.
Yeah.
We got plenty of them.
Plenty of them.
Keep them coming.
Yeah.
I'm Travis.
Damn.
Dan.
Thomas.
Tom. The Horsemen.
We're back.
We're back, but now we're leaving because it's the end. So
Okay. Well, we'll see you on
we'll
the next
see you
ride.
next time. Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Hold Your Horses is produced by Ragged Wood Productions and edited by Gabriel Gutierrez. You can find new episodes at the beginning of every week on most podcast platforms.